Welcome to episode 2, Ace in Life. Bera Mota here, and guess what? Today's session is about to get a whole lot cooler. Nothing to do with the weather. It's because we've got the amazing Mrs Sneha Salian in the house. She's not your typical nutritionist. Do this, don't do that, eat this, don't eat that, drink this, don't. No. She is a clinical nutritionist and a registered dietitian, certified by the IDA India. But wait, there's more. She's also a certified diabetes educator, bringing a wealth of knowledge on nutrition and diabetes management. Sneha Salian has a knack for simplifying complex nutritional concepts, making them relatable and easy to understand. Especially for you, our teenage friends gearing up for their 10th board exams in India. Her passion is empowering individuals through healthy choices, and that is contagious. You can expect a lively and interactive session. That's not your typical health lecture. She is here to share some serious wisdom on maintaining a healthy lifestyle, especially during those critical examination periods. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. It's going to be a game changer for you. Welcome, Sneha.
Thank you so much, sir.
A very, very warm welcome from all of us at ACE.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for a lovely introduction.
Okay, I think we'll get straight to the point. Sneha, why is food very important during this crucial study time?
I think, Behram, sir, if you ask me to study at any time of the day, if I have to open my course book, I'm going to feel very, very sleepy, because course book acts like a tranquilizer, right? On the contrary, if you ask me to say watch a movie in the night at even 11 o'clock, I'm going to sit and watch it at a stretch for 3 hours or maybe 6 hours all night. If you ask me to talk to a friend in the night, I might do that as well with great enthusiasm. But we do not really kind of have a natural love towards our book. I'm sorry to say this to you, but that's the fact. So when we have to concentrate, when we have to be alert enough to read our books and study for a longer time, we need energy. And where does this energy come from? This energy comes from only and only food. Food is the basic source of energy. Food takes care of the energy that we need for our brain to function. Food takes care of the hunger as well as taste buds. So food plays actually a very important or vital role when it is when we talk about this crucial time where our kids want to study for a longer duration and have a better concentration at the same time.
Okay. Sneha, as far as you spoke about books being tranquilizers, I think I could agree with you, right? Even though I am like a senior citizen, I still remember my school days when a book in my hand would be a sure shot sleep mode
Right.
transformation. But just a question here, which I think many of you would want to ask. If food is the source of our energy, as you just said, then sometimes we feel very sleepy after a meal, especially after a Sunday lunch or something. I mean, it's like sleep time.
Right.
Why does this happen?
This is usually because of the choices of food that we make. I mean, different food have different digestion time. Different foods have different effect on our metabolism. So some foods will make us very, very sleepy. Some foods will make us very, very energetic. So the choices that we have or choices that we make in terms of our foods actually decides if you're going to be very sleepy, lethargic or energetic basically.
Okay, I think I'm getting a point, but let's elaborate it further for them. I mean, choice of foods, exactly what do you mean by that?
Okay, let me give you an example. Now the kids who are actually appearing for the exams, the teenage kids between the age of 14 to 18, what are the common foods that they like? Momos, burgers, pizzas, Chinese foods, chaats. Now what I need to explain you over here is all these foods, the basic content, what it has is fat, a lot of fat in all of these foods. To give you a comparison, fiber-rich foods are something that takes longer time for digestion. Similarly, fats also take longer time for digestion. Now, both these foods, despite the fact that they take longer time, fiber actually involves our digestive system to digest the food and give us energy. But at the same time, fat works very inversely. Fat makes the digestive tract very, very sluggish, which will actually make you feel sleepy at the end of the process, because it is actually asking your digestive tract to be struggling to digest that food. So if you have home cooked meals like your normal roti, sabzi, dal, rice, all of this as in a balanced manner, you will feel very energetic because it's fresh. It's in the purest form. But foods containing very high fat, especially saturated fats, are junk foods. These foods actually take a lot of time to go through the entire digestive tract, and all your energy is actually going in the digestion process itself. So you end up being very, very sleepy here.
You are hearing it from the expert. I'm sure this is making a lot of sense. Though, let me tell you, I love momos, pizzas and burgers. So I guess I'm in the 14 to 18 bracket.
I think we all love that. Even I am a pizza lover over here, but then I know I have to keep a bit of control on my taste buds when I have to actually, make sure that my energy levels are at the peak.
Great. So what we are getting at here is that food is the fuel for our body.
Right.
And the type of food that we eat is the type of efficiency that the fuel will give.
Correct. Right.
Okay.
So the food we eat should actually require minimum struggle so that we get the energy, we get the fuel, and our brain functions to its peak basically.
All right. We've just spoken about it. I mean, a very generic. Can we break it down to meals per day?
Absolutely.
Since I don't think this is the time that our students would want to go and consult a dietitian or something. Could you help us with doing that? Break it down to meals per day. This is the time they need it, maximum.
Right. So meals per day means we start with the breakfast. Now breakfast is the major meal of the day, wherein your body is resting throughout the night. You have to start your day. You have to start your day with good food, maximum energy. So breakfast has to be a meal which has to have everything. Everything means include all the major food groups. That is your carbohydrates, your proteins, your fiber, your vitamins, everything. And we've all heard this since childhood. Eat breakfast like a king. So you have to ensure that your breakfast includes all your nutrients. So your carbohydrates would include your cereals or breakfast cereals or parathas, the traditional Indian parathas that your mom makes. Proteins will have paneer or eggs if you're a non-vegetarian, then boiled chanas, boiled chickpeas, and along with that, adding a fruit and a milk would actually complete your breakfast. So cereal or some protein, cereal plus some protein along with the fruit and milk is your breakfast. After your breakfast,
the lunch.
The next meal is the lunch, and your dinner. I would just combine these two things together. So your lunch and dinner are the main major meals that we have to understand how we actually plan our meals. There's something that I teach all my patients, and I'm going to tell you also today. If you are, everybody's quantity varies. Your plate size is different, mine is different, somebody else will have a different size. So you have to decide what is your plate size and divide that plate into 4 parts. Those 4 parts, out of those 4 parts, basically 4 quarters, 1 is your carbohydrate, 1 is your protein, and the remaining 2 is your fiber. Basically, half your plate is filled with fiber, that is vegetables. Vegetables in the form of sabzi, home cooked sabzi or salad or soups. The remaining half, which is like 2 quarters, 1 would be carbohydrates, that is your cereals, roti, rice, parathas, breads, poha, upma, idli, all of those things, and 1 portion is your protein, that is your dairy, your dal, pulses, paneer, eggs, tofu, chicken, fish, all of this. So having a meal that has all the 3 major food groups in the right portion, in the right balance, basically in the ratio of 1:1:2, that is how a meal should look like. Both in lunch and dinner, and probably adding a small bowl of curd will help the gut bacteria to be better and give you a better metabolism, better
Probiotic.
digestion. Yes, probiotic.
Okay, this 1:1:2.
Mhm.
I seem to think it's very mathematical. So was that one of your favorite subjects in school?
Yes.
Okay. Can you elaborate a bit on that 1:1:2 again?
So when I say 1:1:2, that means one portion of carbs, one portion of protein, and two portions of fiber. If
Okay.
you are increasing one portion of carbs in your meals, that means you also have to increase one portion of protein and two portions of fiber to balance out. So quantity doesn't matter, the ratio is
The
something
ratio
that
matters.
matters. And
Okay,
apart
okay.
from these breakfast, lunch, and dinner, small snack meals have to be there throughout the day to give you a constant source of energy and let your brain function well.
Guys, I hope your parents are listening in on this, and I hope my wife is listening in on this and watching this, right? So I'm going to get a very healthy and nutritious breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Okay, what about one main thing that I think we all love? I'm asking this question for you guys. Snacking. You haven't spoken anything about that?
So snacking is very, very important. People usually come and tell me, most
I
of my
saw that.
patients in my OPD come and tell me, I think we're not supposed to snack. I've stopped snacking. I keep a long gap between my meals. But let me tell you, that is very, very wrong to do. Your body needs some source of energy in frequent duration. You are supposed to eat small meals but frequent meals. So which is why snacking is very, very important, and you should be at least consuming 3 to 6 small snacks throughout the day. Especially our kids preparing for the exam, they need something constantly to give energy to the brain, the fuel to the brain. So which is why snacking is very important. Now snacking does not mean you have to get up, go sit, have a meal, then come back. No, snacking is like any small meal which parents can just prepare small boxes and keep on the study table, so that children just have to have the meals while they are actually performing their day-to-day routine. So snacks could be just a fruit, maybe 2 fruits a day is very, very healthy. So could be fruit, could be nuts like your almonds, walnuts, your Brazilian nuts, your pumpkin seeds, all of this mixed together in a small bowl. See, snack portion has to be as small as a fist. So fistful of any snack is perfect. That's it, not more than that. So I think one of the viewer has mentioned moderation is the key. So that's important. Moderating the amount of snack also is very, very important, and not having a full big box of nuts, because it's again going to make you sluggish and
Okay,
sleepy.
Okay.
Then I think also adding foods like makhanas, chanas, popcorn is a good option.
Popcorn. This is something good, because I used to always, when so do you mean to say that when I go to any of the multiplexes, I can feast on the caramel and the
I think
cheese?
you missed my point. I said moderation is the key over here. So if you're going to have a big tub of popcorn, no, I think that's not good. And again, popcorn is good if it is a plain simple salted popcorn. But if you're going to add more caramel and cheese and spices, it's just spoiling the whole nutrition value of the basic dish over here.
Okay, I get the point. But one thing I liked about the fact that she said that it should be fist size. I hope you guys have got big fists, you great eaters out there. Okay, cut the joke. What about these? There is an industry that's making a killing. Like how when you were talking about this, we suddenly realized that memory boosting, that intermittent fasting, for example, is not the way to go. These sort of fad diets. So right now, if I talk about another industry that's booming, the memory boosting tonics. Suddenly, everybody talks about, and especially as the exams draw near, the parents are like attracted to these medical stores where everybody talks about that this is going to boost the memory, this tonic is the best. What is your take on that?
I think yes, foods have a natural tendency of giving you, maximum value in terms of nutrition. There are certain foods we call as superfoods, basically because they give additional benefit. Now, having it in the raw form directly from the food, what better than that? Instead of going to a nutraceutical version of it. So I'm not saying I'm against the nutraceutical version of it, but if you can get it from the natural foods, nothing like it, and that's going to be easier for the kids. So more than memory boosting tonics, I would say foods that are actually beneficial for boosting memory, we should be focusing on them. And foods like basically omega-3 fatty acids, which we all are talking about these days. Omega-3 fatty acids comes from, if you're a non-vegetarian, then it's going to be fish. But for vegetarians, walnuts, the brain-looking nut basically,
Yes.
pumpkin seeds, Brazilian nuts, these are the sources of your omega-3 fatty acids. In fact, Brazilian nuts also gives us selenium, which is again a memory boosting vitamin, which also comes from mushrooms. So these are very good foods that we actually consume on a day-to-day basis. Then why do we need anything in addition? Bananas are the best source of magnesium, because that works on the concentration and boosting our memory, at the same time a very good source of energy.
Fantastic.
And something that is there in everybody's kitchen today is turmeric. Not just, it doesn't just act as an antiseptic, but it is also very, very good for boosting memory, which is why traditionally our parents used to put haldi in our milk to actually improve our metabolism, improve our sleep, improve our memory. So basic things from our kitchen.
Wow. So it's actually no coincidence that the walnut, once it is shelled, it looks like the brain. It seems to be, I think, nature's way of telling us.
Nature's way of telling us, right?
Fantastic, fantastic. Okay, so we've heard so much about all the solid foods. Let's shift our attention now from solids to liquids, right? The liquid diet. What should be the liquid requirement, liquid diet? Come on, let's talk about that.
I think there's nothing called as liquid diet that we ever want to do. Liquid diet would be the wrong term, but yes, if we have to talk about hydration, yes, it's very, very necessary, because if we are not hydrated enough, our brain is not going to function. Basically, why do we need hydration? For our blood flow, we need water. Our body needs water for the blood flow, and if there is not enough blood flow, the brain is not going to get the oxygen at all to actually function. And during this time, the kids want to study longer and longer and longer with more alertness. So if you are going to be dehydrated, if your blood flow is poor, that means the concentration goes down. So what we have to actually focus on is good 10 to 12 glasses of water throughout the day, which can be divided throughout the day. Now the problem with our kids basically is that they want to study, they don't want to get up in the middle of the study time, because that wastes the time sometimes, or that breaks the momentum more or less. So they wouldn't want to get up again and again and go and fill water. So the simple thing that they can actually do is keep a big bottle. Instead of a half-liter bottle or a 1-liter bottle, why not a 1.5 or 2 liters bottle? So that they only have to get up once to go and refill the bottle. But if there is a bottle in front of them, they can keep on sipping the water throughout the day.
Talking about 1.5 and 2 liter bottles brings us to aerated drinks. Yes.
That's something today's kids are actually very inclined towards. But no, I don't think aerated drinks would be the right thing to have, because they contain a lot of caffeine in them, and caffeine actually dehydrates you further. So not really something that I would prefer. Plus, it forms a lot of gas.
Okay.
Why do you want that discomfort when you're trying to focus better?
All right. And talking about caffeine, see how every word you're giving me, like I'm latching onto that, because I think we are playing a sort of game with this. Talking about caffeine, there is a belief that having tea or coffee during your studying hours or during your work hours helps you to focus better and maybe even stay awake for longer hours. Myth or reality? What do you think?
I would say myth. It is just a temporary effect that it gives for good 1 to 2 hours. You feel awake, you feel alert, you feel sudden rush of energy for a period of say 1 to 2 hours. After that, what happens? You have brain fog, brain freezing, you start getting anxiety kind of feeling, you start panicking, because what does caffeine exactly do? You must have noticed after having a cup of coffee, you might go to the washroom 2 to 3 times. That is because it is actually leaching all the water from your system and throwing it out. Caffeine acts like a dehydrating agent. So probably at that point of time you are alert, but after some time you are dehydrated and your brain stops functioning honestly.
Oh, so
Not recommended.
My God, guys, I hope you got that. Not recommended. Otherwise, brain freeze, brain fog, you name it. So caffeine not really recommended.
And I'm sure the kids today don't want that during this particular phase when they are trying to study very hard, being very, very focused and not wasting even 1 hour.
Fantastic, fantastic. So guys, you know that eat smart, study sharp. Your success begins with the right bite and now with the right sip. Don't forget that. Okay, let's talk about time management. I was doing an interview with Shiv Khera when he said something very important. He said, Beram, we always tend to sacrifice what is important to what is urgent. You see, every morning every night before we go to sleep, we say this is important, that is important, I need to do this. But every morning, what happens is that there are some things that keep coming. You know, some urgency all the time,
Right.
some urgent chores to be done, something, and eventually what is important is on the back burner.
Correct.
And he said, one day you will realize that what was important has now become urgent. And he gave a simple example. He said, doing exercise, for example, it's important.
Right.
It's important for all of us to spend some time exercising. But every day there is some urgent requirement and we say tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. And sometimes tomorrow never comes. And what happens? One day he said, you will land up in the ICU. Now, what was important has now become urgent.
Right.
So, time management is a huge thing. Don't you agree, Sneha?
Absolutely, I totally agree. And we have to make sure we have a timetable for everything.
Okay, so a planned schedule.
Right.
Because today's children, I mean, if you look at today's children, maybe, of course, the 10th standard now is not really spending days in school, or maybe some of them are. But in general, if you look at today's kids, 6 a.m. in the morning, I mean, they get up and get ready for school, ready to go to school, and maybe 3:34, sometime around there, they are back from school. Right? Huge part of the day. They are hardly back from school and maybe a small snack or something and a quick bath or wash or something, and they are out for their tuition.
Right.
Right? When I was a kid, I was told all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. Right? But today's intelligent guys are following this sort of schedule, coming back home at 8 o'clock, sometime maybe on social media or on their screen time, and then back to the snooze, right? Hardly any family time, improper meals, and I mean, what is this life full of care? We have no time to stand and stare. W.H. Davies said that, not me. Right. So, what would you recommend as far as time management is concerned?
See, when time management is when we look at time management, we have to plan our day well in advance. We have to have a schedule, especially students who are appearing for their exams now. They have to make a fixed schedule. You have to divide your time for sleep, because sleep is important. You have to have a small little time for exercise. You have to dedicate certain amount of time for your meals, and the rest of the time for your studies, obviously, and a few little here and there additional time for changing, taking bath, basic chores of yours. So having a schedule is important. So sorry.
Okay, sorry. So let's break it up. Let's first start with sleep. Let's talk about sleep.
I think this is a very important thing that we should be discussing today, because students at this particular point of time think it's okay to give up on sleep. Sleeping just for 4 to 5 hours is more than sufficient. Kids, let me tell you, that's not the truth. 4 to 5 hours is not enough for your brain to actually rest. You need to rest. Sleep is an important part of your routine, and if you're not resting, you are not rejuvenating, you're not having a fresh mind the next day, and you'll be very lethargic, sleepy. You will not be able to concentrate at all. So at least a 6 to 7 or 8 hours of sleep is something which is important.
Anything between 6 and 8.
Yes, anything between 6 and 8 is very important. Longer duration is again not good, because again that's going to make you lazy. So 10 hours of sleep is something that I'm not going to recommend here, but not even 4 to 5 hours.
So you're coming back to moderation is the key.
Yes.
Okay. Sasha has asked a fantastic question. How many hours or minutes should we exercise on a daily basis? Thank you for that question, Sasha, Leticia, and Sneha, the question is to you.
To answer this question, see, exercise is very important. If you remember your school time, you always had a small little session of PT in the morning during our assembly time.
Yes.
Why was that? That was because the school always wanted to promote a small little time for exercise, which will help the blood flow throughout the body, so that you can better concentrate throughout the day during your lectures. So even a 10-minute activity to up to 20 minutes activity in any form, doesn't has to be a gym or doesn't have to be specifically running. You can run, you can walk, you can dance, you can do HIIT workouts at home looking at the YouTube video. You can do basic PT exercises that have been taught in the school. Anything is fine, as long as you are at least removing a minimum of 10 to 20 minutes on a daily basis.
So I don't need to like get up and get dressed and a bandana and something in a sweatband and go to the gym.
Not needed. Not needed. Any form of exercise, as long as you are helping your body to, warm up, help the blood rush, that's it. More than sufficient.
Okay. Many of our ancient scriptures talk about the meditation techniques, the yoga nidra. How do we make our youngsters, right? I mean, the 21st century youngsters move towards that? I mean, how would you customize it for?
So I think when you wake up in the morning, all our kids should actually be spending 5 minutes time on meditation, because and again, you don't need to dress up and go to your yoga class or anything. Just sit on your bed, hold your nostrils, do breathing exercises, do your pranayam, breathe from the nostril, second nostril, you remove your air, exhale. So just 5 minutes of pranayam is going to just improve your focus, improve your breathing, and you'll be very fresh throughout the day. And yes, you spoke about yoga nidra. So yoga nidra is one of the exercise or one of the yogasan that we tell I tell most of my patients to do when they're not getting good sleep. With our kids, what is going to happen during this phase, and I think most of them are experiencing this already. They'll be calculating, I have finished so many chapters, tomorrow I have to study these many chapters, I have to finish so much, and that makes them, not feel sleepy, puts them into a lot of pressure.
Yes.
So doing a 5-minute yoga nidra, basically your shavasana, listening to any soothing music, focusing, resting, breathing, just lying down will help you actually channelize your energy, make yourself calmer and sleep well, so that next morning you are fresh enough.
I love this. Shavasana anyway is my favorite asana. Right? Jokes apart, I think what Sneha is saying is making a lot of sense to all of us, that there are before we hit the sack, we don't get sleep because of the pressure that is built up during the exams.
Right.
So I think she's making a lot of sense when you're saying that when you hit the sack, for 5 minutes listen to some relaxation music,
Right.
and just go into shavasana. You don't even know when you would be falling asleep.
Right.
Fantastic. Okay, that's great. Swati has come up with a question that any recommendations for avoiding brain fog or blackout during the exams? We say that the students come, I knew this answer, but I blacked out.
I think there are 2 to 3 reasons of blacking out. One is anxiety, and you really have, and it's very normal. I think some people black out, some people vomit before the exam, some people just feel like, I want to close my exam papers and everything and sit. So that's a good thing. That means you are worried about your paper and you are concerned. So it's okay, but to avoid this, you just have to make sure that you are keeping yourself very, very calm. As I said, as I talked about meditation, you should be actually meditating. You get this 10 minutes time before the exam starts. So that is the time when you have to actually breathe, focus, keep yourself calm. Make sure you have water bottle with you, hydrate yourself, and you will not have any of this. There is, see, I'm going to tell you, 10th boards are important. It is very, very important, but not, you don't have to panic. It's just a routine exam that you've been giving in the school also. No difference. So don't worry.
It's certainly not a matter of life and death.
Yes.
Not at all. Okay. Swati Parab is asking us that if I am studying, and I'm quoting her verbatim, if I'm studying night time and I feel sleepy throughout the day, during the day, what should I do?
I think then that's not your body clock, because we have to stick to our body clock. If you are comfortable studying in the morning and be alert throughout the day, that would be better for you rather than sleeping in the studying at the night time. So try not studying at the night time. Try getting up in the morning early and utilize the entire day. You will have more time with you. That would be quality time.
Okay, so you mean to say that it may take 1 or 2 days to adjust?
Probably.
But you will have to change your body clock.
Correct.
Fantastic.
Actually,
fantastic.
that's her body clock already, which she's trying to change.
All right. Okay, so the normal body clock is that we are not nocturnal creatures.
I wouldn't say that. See, I am a night person. I prefer studying in the night. During my boards, I remember I was the one studying whole night, sleeping in the daytime. But if in her case, she's trying to study in the night, but she is sleepy throughout the day, that's not working
That
for
doesn't
her.
make sense. That doesn't make sense. Okay. So Swati Parab, you've got your answer. Vedant is asking, how do I efficiently focus and get things done while I am studying? Vedant, I don't know if that is a question for a dietitian, but I'm sure that she has an answer. So go ahead.
I think, Vedant, I would just summarize all that I've talked about till now. If you have to focus, just make sure you're hydrating yourself very, very well. You are eating your foods timely, choosing the right kind of foods, managing your time, planning things ahead, and you are there. That's it. Little bit of exercise, good sleep, hydration, food, and all your time planning your studies well, you will be able to focus.
So I think what we can do, Vedant, I think I need to thank you for this idea. What we can do at the end of our session, whatever you have discussed, we can actually document it and
That would
post
be
it
actually
there for,
great.
yeah, that would be great.
Yes.
Wouldn't it? So Vedant, whatever Swati has said, Sneha has said, I'm so sorry, will be available for all of you, right? Jaswinder says, what should we consider as a good source of protein?
Proteins basically give you strength. So protein rich foods would be your, if you are a non-vegetarian, then it would be fish, chicken, eggs, egg whites mainly. All your lean protein comes from here. Then your dals, all the dals, pulses, chana, chole, moong. Then your curd, yogurt, your paneer, tofu, soya, all of these things are your protein, including milk. So dairy, to sum up, dairy, pulses and lentils, and your non-vegetarian foods. These are your proteins which are very, very necessary.
Okay, I am going to digress from this, from you guys, because there is a person, Jignesh has asked, how does a working individual, so I think here we have a parent.
Yes.
How does a working individual maintain a healthy diet throughout the day?
I think the word diet has been very, very, wrongly spoken about.
Overused, misused, abused.
I think right, because you don't have to really have a diet schedule at all. You just have to follow a basic few mantras of having a complete meal. As I explained about carbs, proteins, fiber in the right ratio, that's more than sufficient. If you're eating your carbs, if you're eating your proteins, if you're eating your fiber, again in the ratio of 1:1:2, I think that's perfect. So including all the major food groups in your meals, having good hydration, having good sleep, having a little bit of activity on a regular basis, having a schedule again, because even if you are working, having a schedule is very, very important. Just as we are talking to kids, it's important for a working individual also.
So, Mr. Jignesh, what works for your children
It's
definitely
gonna work
works for you too, right? Okay, guys, we have a small gift for our guest, Sneha, who has done so well up to now. But wait, I'm not going to give her the gift right now. The gift is from Ace for you, and it's an Ace gift, you can be sure of that. Because we are quickly going through a fact versus fiction.
Wow, I'm
Right?
going to win this for sure.
Okay, let's see if you're going to win this, a fact versus fiction segment. And here we go. Fact number 1. Skipping meals helps in better concentration.
No,
Fact or fiction?
Absolutely fiction, because skipping meals means not giving enough sugar to the brain. That means brain fog, again, lack of concentration, not something that I would recommend. Instead, 3 major meals and multiple snacks in between.
Okay, you've got the first one right. Coffee is good for concentration. Fact or fiction?
Absolutely fiction, because coffee is just going to make you dehydrated, not give you the results. It's a myth that you have to have coffee all night. Next morning you will be all dull and dull.
My God. Okay, you've got the second one right too. And this is one which I think everybody would want to ask you, and I'm asking you that. Fact or fiction? Comfort foods relieve anxiety. Comfort foods like chocolates.
I would say a fact, because 1 to 2 pieces of dark chocolate is very good. It releases happy hormones. So I would personally prefer having dark chocolate. But yeah, if you ask me, comfort foods like chips, junk foods like your namkeens and everything, no.
Okay,
That's going to make you lazier.
Dark chocolate is the way out.
Dark chocolate it is.
Yes. Okay. Night time is the best time to study. Fact or fiction?
I think we discussed this. Obviously, it wouldn't be a fact, it wouldn't be a fiction. It depends. It completely depends upon your body clock. If you are fresh in the morning, then morning time is the time for you to study. But if you are a night person, night time is the time to study. So there is no fact or fiction over here. It completely depends upon you.
You're getting all the answers. Okay. Overeating or eating more at one sitting will definitely help me avoid getting up again and again to eat while I'm studying.
Completely wrong way of thinking, because most of our kids do this actually. They eat a lot of food together, and they think that they don't have to get up multiple times and give energy. They can sit for a longer time. No, it doesn't work like that, because when you're overeating, you're putting a lot of pressure on your digestive tract. Basically, your digestion is prolonged, and end result, you'll be sleepy after that, because all your energy is going in the process of digestion. So to better concentrate, again, small meals but frequent meals. And when I say small meals, this is something that I am going to always promote. Eat till you are only 70 to 80% full, not more than that.
Okay. I'll have to remember that too. Right. Okay. Energy drinks. There are so many in the market nowadays. Those. I wouldn't like to name a brand, but energy drinks boost energy and boost concentration. Fact or fiction?
All the energy drinks contain caffeine in it. If you look at the ingredient list, it contains caffeine in it. Acts exactly like how tea or coffee is going to work. So it has calories, no doubt about it, to give you instant energy. But caffeine is again going to work inversely. Rather, I would say basic good form of liquids to have throughout the day to give you the same kind of energy would be lemon water, fruit juices, coconut water, simple plain water, buttermilk, green tea, anytime better options.
Wow. Memory tonics before exams are a must. Fact or fiction?
Completely fiction. Let's not torture our kids here because they don't need any of these tonics, especially during this time. It's good to stick to the homely available options that I spoke about earlier. Your nuts, your seeds, your nut seeds like walnuts, almonds, pumpkin seeds, bananas, berries. These are the foods, turmeric mainly, to be added in all the foods. Your Indian spices are very, very wonderful in order to, improve our metabolism and concentration. So these superfoods, more than sufficient.
Wow. Okay. Instead of going outdoor or doing some exercise, maybe 30 minutes of TV time will definitely relieve stress. Fact or fiction?
Okay, so the students over here would be probably thinking, I think that's the best thing that could happen. It's a good distraction, but I would still put it as fiction because watching TV or having screen time is a good way to distract yourself from studying, but that's not going to work the way we want it to work. As in, it is not going to add on to your concentration level. You are also engaging your mind in something while you're watching a series or a movie or anything. So you're not resting your brain, you're not giving more fuel to your brain. Instead, replacing it with a 10-minute exercise would be a better option because you are actually helping improve your blood circulation. Activity is actually making you fresh and ready to start studying the next moment.
Okay. So get that, guys, right? TV may be good as a distraction to relieve pressure,
Right.
but screen time cannot replace exercise time.
Correct.
Period.
Right.
Right? Okay. Exam fad diets, and there are so many of them available on the internet, right? They really work. Fact or fiction?
Again, I think that's a complete no, because the moment you Google diet or exam diet or anything, the first few options that you're going to see on Google would be weight loss diets. And right now, we don't want to look at any of those things. It's really going to work 360 degrees inversely in our current situation. So no fat diets, no exam diets. Just work on the basic few fundamentals of your eating proper meals, hydrating yourself, little bit time for exercise, good sleep, and that's it. You don't need any kind of boosting diet or anything right now. And if at all you feel that there is something that is lacking and you want to consult somebody, it's better to go to a professional rather than actually sitting and searching something on your own. But basic things that you can follow at home is more than sufficient. No trying anything new during this very crucial time of yours.
My God, Sneha, you've done a wonderful job for all of us. Great expert advice. Where are you practicing? I mean, I would definitely want to bring my grandchildren to you. So where are you practicing?
I am actually, I'm the head of the department at Aastha Hospital in Mulund, and I basically expertise in taking care of obesity, trying to eradicate obesity, because after finishing all the studies, I know all the students come to this level of, eating more, which I don't want any of our students to do. So, my whole work is related to obesity, but yes, looking at overall nutrition in terms of improving the health.
Fantastic. I think, and I'm sure you all will agree, at VIBGYOR ACE and the VIBGYOR group of schools, I'm sure that Sneha more than deserves this. She has been amazing. Thank you so much.
I won
Sneha.
this.
Thank you so much. This is really amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And before we end, there is a question from Rajiv. How to stay positive during the whole day? Rajiv, I'll tell you something. This is something which I think a senior citizen like me can definitely advise. Of course, Sneha would love to add her a bit. But let me tell you. See, there are two things for every exam. One is the goal or the target. The other is the process. Right? So whenever you feel even a little bit of negativity, thinking, oh my God, how can I achieve that target? I've set myself a target of 96%. How do I achieve that? Remove your mind from the target and focus on the process. Believe me, focus on the process. And conversely, whenever the process is boring and you feel I am fed up doing this, remove your mind from the process and focus on your goal. Either way, I guarantee you, you will be positive not just during the whole day, but during your exams and forever. Right, Sneha?
Absolutely.
Do you wish to add anything?
I think Bairam sir has, you have completely summarized it very, very well. That's the way to go about it. And you don't have to worry about anything. Whatever you write in your paper is something that you've learned. So nobody is going to judge you on that. Be very, very positive that whatever you have put on the paper, whatever you have written in the exam that's it. That's what you know, and it's perfect. So be very positive. Being negative is not going to help you. And how to stay positive, I think he has already spoken about it.
Yeah. That's my blood group. Be positive. Right? Okay, so guys, it's been a pleasure. I wish we could be here throughout the day to answer all your questions. I think it's been a pleasure, right?
Yes.
Being with you all. We have had a great time. I hope that you guys are now going to take this and rock. Don't just go away like that. Be there next Sunday, same time. We'll be back.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll be back.